Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. This video includes paid promotion. Well guys, we are getting very, very close to the bottom of what is the crypto market. We're in 2026. It is a bear year. Vandell here mentioning this. Most of the crypto market appears to be in stage 4 of the cycle right now, with some areas still sitting in stage 3 and very few in stage 1. So what he's looking at, not necessarily the overarching macro 4-year, but I guess micro stages in between there. Because most people struggle to accurately identify where we are in the cycle, every small bounce gets treated as the start of the next leg higher. I tend to look at the big picture personally. I know, macro, when you look at things on the macro scale, it tends to be easier to identify. Take a look at the chart, guys. This is Bitcoin on the daily. You guys can see we have been consistently forming over the last year, consistently forming bearish pennant patterns. And I have a feeling we're not going to get up past some of these levels in here. I mean, if we were to get up past these levels, and again, this is just a broad outlook on where the market is at the moment, getting up above some of these resistance levels technically means we would be in a bull run. And so we haven't seen that yet. My estimation, I think the market is still going to go down further, or at least meet the lows that we have already seen. When you take a look at Cafe Satoshi's tweet here, whenever an exchange fails, it generally marks the bottom. So what he's noticing here, back in I think this was 2014 or 15 when Mt. Gox went down, that was the bottom of the market. BitGrail did go down in, I guess, 2019. I don't remember that story. I remember the FTX story. I'm sure a lot of you guys who were here at that time remember that too. And now, guys, we got the news of BitMEX, which I did just mention in yesterday morning's video, I believe it was. I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner if you guys didn't catch that. Just going to interrupt this video for a second. Here's a word from one of today's video sponsors. Guys, let's be honest, the crypto market has been moving sideways for a while now. A lot of people are just sitting on their coins waiting for that next big move. But while you're waiting, your crypto is just sitting idle in your wallet doing absolutely nothing. That's why I'm going to mention it again, the long-standing partnership I have with FortisX. Instead of letting your assets sit idle, you can put supported cryptocurrencies into FortisX liquidity pools and earn daily rewards while still keeping the flexibility to withdraw them anytime you want. And I keep working with these guys because they keep delivering. The team is public. They've successfully completed Cyberscope team verification. So that's KYC. They've passed independent security audits, and the platform has been building consistently for years. They're focused on long-term growth, transparency, and security rather than hype. In a market like this, it makes far more sense to have your crypto working for you instead of letting it sit idle. I've worked with FortisX for a long time, and if you're planning to hold your crypto anyway, I genuinely think it's one of the smartest ways to put those assets to work. Remember, investing is inherently risky. Always diversify your investments. This is not financial advice. When it comes to XRP, I mean, we're looking at something a little different. When we take a look at the 2022 chart here, going right back to 2022, a lot of altcoins, including XRP, really did bottom back in the summer, so late June. And they slowly ground up for the next few years. We did see a dip down and around here before finally in November of 2024, we saw that big blast off to the upside. So this begs the question, is this the bottom for XRP now that we are firmly in the summer? Are we going to see lower lows? When it comes to Bitcoin, Bitcoin generally does drop more in the fall. So all eyes on the charts. Fear and greed is at 35. We've got market not moving too much. So a lot of days of inactivity or very, very little activity for the crypto space. We got some cryptocurrencies up, some cryptocurrencies down, but not by a lot. Chart Nerd mentioning this, XRP has previously set its macro floor a few months ahead of Bitcoin. So Chart Nerd here noticing the same thing that I just showed you guys on the chart. The fact that the macro floor from 2022, we are seeing that kind of that similar fractal, that similar structure on the charts in 2026. If 108 holds while Bitcoin marks a new low, there is a slim chance the bottom is in. However, this does not rule out the potential for further weakness in 2018, which was also a midterm year. XRP structural bleed extended that of Bitcoin's. From this viewpoint alone, cases exist both for and against the idea of a bottom being placed in already. One thing is certain though, midterm years are and continue to be bearish for XRP. And guys, that just goes to all cryptocurrencies, most cryptocurrencies, I guess I would say, the vast majority. And now a 70% decline into 2026. May be useful for the next midterm cycle, who knows? And then we have metrics on chain that we cannot ignore. Check out this tweet here from Bank XRP. XRP exchange activity is cooling off fast as well. So we are seeing Binance deposits and withdrawals just fall off a cliff. So in June, they were 650,000, and now they're only 350,000. So the same setup we saw before the October 2025 run. Are we seeing the final push before we see that big move to the upside? Another very good question. So I wanted to thank Bank XRP, Chart Nerd here, Cafe Satoshi, and Vandal for bringing those up. Bank XRP here also commenting on who is accumulating more XRP via the ETFs. Check this one out. Kansas is quietly turning into an XRP hotspot. We heard about the Jayhawks. I don't know if you guys remember that video that I did about a couple of weeks ago. I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner. Now Kansas, a Kansas-based company, an RIA. So this is SRH Advisors. They just disclosed $156,000 in Franklin Templeton's XRP ETF. So check this out here. This is the Edgar filing, and here we have the filing details here for SRH, Advisors. And if you just scroll through here, this is just a little video that the poster did make here. If you check this out here, you scroll down here, you guys can see they are invested in the Franklin XRP ETF, and they have purchased 13,726 shares specifically. So these firms, to me, firmly believe, no pun intended, that XRP is going to be a valuable asset moving forward, especially once we get clarity. And speaking of clarity, I got to show you this from Eleanor Turret, the National Fraternal Order of Police, one of the key law enforcement groups involved in negotiations over the Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act, is now backing the latest version of the Clarity Act, saying a revised BRCA language addresses its previous concerns and preserves law enforcement's ability to investigate crypto crimes. So this courtesy of Eleanor Turret, and she is posting this. Essentially the entire letter. I will link it in the description of the video. I don't have to go over and read it. Essentially, what you do have to know, though, that the National Fraternal Order of the Police is supporting the Clarity Act in its current version. On top of which, I had this one sent to me from one of my Patreon subscribers. Fidelity joins a push for Senate passage of the Clarity Act. So Fidelity called on the U.S. Senate to pass the Clarity Act on Friday. Yes, Fidelity, the big institutional investment company, they're saying clearer digital asset regulations are needed to strengthen investor confidence, provide certainty for the market participants, and reinforce U.S. leadership in global crypto markets. So they are really invested in the fact that the U.S. has to have a handle on crypto and crypto movement in that particular asset class. The company joins a growing coalition of financial firms and crypto organizations urging U.S. lawmakers to advance digital asset market legislation. Earlier on Friday, the Crypto Council for Innovation, the Digital Chamber of Commerce, and the Blockchain Association called on Senate leaders to bring the bill to the floor. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong also called for a full Senate floor vote on Wednesday. So guys, here is the Fidelity tweet. They basically just tweeted out saying, Fidelity urges Senate passage of the Clarity Act. No bones picked. This is how they're framing it. The time is now for clear rules of the road that are essential for strengthening investor confidence, providing certainty for market participants, and reinforcing U.S. leadership in global digital asset markets. So I was scouring Twitter this morning, and I feel like there was a lot of positive sentiment in the space with regards to Clarity passing before that August recess. And I was looking and I was thinking, well, maybe it did actually pass. I was away from my computer yesterday. Here's what I found when I brought it to Grok as of July the 25th, which is today, if you guys are watching this video on the day that I'm releasing it. The Digital Asset Market Clarity Act has passed the House of Representatives, but still has not yet passed the Senate or to become law. So we are almost there, guys. We're not quite there yet. Recent developments, though, as of July of 2026, show ongoing Senate negotiations over remaining issues, including ethics and disclosure, which we did talk about last week, provisions relating to federal officials and crypto DeFi treatment under anti-money laundering rules and stablecoin rewards. An updated Senate version has been discussed, and leadership, including Senate Leader John Thune, has indicated interest in floor action potentially before the August recess. So they are still aiming for that deadline, though no vote has been scheduled and 60 votes would be needed for the passage. Industry support does continue. We did just recently get Fidelity, as Grok has notified here, and market passage odds have been discussed in the 40% range for 2026, and some analysts do believe, but the bill still remains pending. I guess we should go to Polymarket, right? Ooh, bringing it to Polymarket, we are only at a 35% chance as of the time of this recording. So it has been going up and down, up and down. Overall, though, pretty much since May, you guys can see a pretty significant slide down. Okay, we were somewhere close to 74%, and then that just kind of slid down throughout the spring and summer months. And we're not even at the end of the summer yet. So who knows what is going to happen I also wanted to mention this. This was also sent to me by a Patreon subscriber. SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce warns crypto vaults and on-chain lending may be securities. So here's the summary. Hester Peirce, of course, she's a commissioner at the SEC, has warned that crypto vaults and on-chain lending may be classified as securities under federal law. So we have to take a look at that. These products, which offer liquidity and crypto market exposure, could face regulatory action due to their investment contract structure. Peirce emphasized the security versus commodities debate and how that still remains unresolved, urging industry feedback to shape future rules. Well, guys, we have this too from Crypto Eddie, Sento Sumo Saba here on Twitter, the SEC on vaults. So let's take a look at it with regards to the XRP ledger. So the XRP ledger's XLS 65 and 66 protocol has native primitives, a real distinction that aids transparency and reduces hidden control risks. Still, off-chain underwriting means securities law analysis remains relevant, and Hester Peirce invites the SEC engagement on this exact thing. So exactly what we were talking about in that article. Listen to this.
What we've seen is like with one of the traditional DeFi pools, it is a smart contract mediating a transaction, right? It's mediating activity. There's not an intermediary in there. The smart contract is what the smart contract is. Everyone can see that going into a transaction. They know exactly what to expect. You know, presuming you can read the code, right? You or you can look at it. It's there, right? It's open source for everyone to see. But when you start doing some of the vault activities that I've seen, you really are adding into that element a third party. And that's where I think the regulation may have something to say. When you have a third party involved in deciding how different assets are being allocated and invested, that's really a situation where you have to start asking, do the securities laws apply?
Well, then Sento Sumo Saba asks here, how does being native help? It embeds the rules, the pooling, payments, and the defaults directly in the ledger consensus, immutable, fully visible with no upgradable code or admin keys. A curator can change this later. This makes the mechanics closer to pure protocol mediation than a managed external vault. And what this is going to do is going to strengthen arguments against classic intermediary treatment. So, I mean, at least we are seeing more upgrades on the XRP ledger to kind of stay ahead of the regulations. Of course, we have a great dev team working on the XRP ledger day in, day out. And they are essentially the backbone of what's going to create more value driven to the XRP ledger. More people are going to be using XRP and therefore more value driven to XRP. And that's just one of the avenues, guys. Check this out from CoinDesk. The DTCC recently moved tokenized securities into live production. So guys, DTCC is live with 20 plus major institutions participating. Now, like I've been saying, I don't think we're going to see scale all at once. I think we're going to start to see it build eventually. Here's a clip of Jen Sanasi. All right, she's interviewing Nadine Chakar from the DTCC, and Nadine Chakar says that the platform plans to expand in September. So that's like just over a month away.
This is Brand New Rails, our weekly look at the biggest developments in tokenization and productive capital. Last week, Wall Street crossed an important milestone. The DTCC, the company that clears and settles nearly every U.S. stock trade, moved tokenized securities into live production after years of testing. More than 24 institutions, including JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and BlackRock, all participated. Now, the focus shifts from proving the technology to expanding who can use it. The DTCC plans to open the platform to more market participants in September ahead of a broader rollout in October. After that, it wants to bring collateral management and more post-trade functions on chain. I asked Global Head of DTCC Digital Assets, Nadine Chakar, what comes next.
We hope towards the end of the summer or early September start to open up the environment so people can come in and test and get ready for October. Come the end of November, early December, we will release our collateral app chain so clients can tokenize our tokenization service and use these tokens to be able to use them as collateral. And lastly, we'll continue to add new features and functionality. So hopefully bring corporate actions processing on chain, add more chains, and open up a digital ecosystem that clients can safely trade in and move assets peer to peer, and continue to work with all our industry. At the end of the day, it is not tech for tech. It is tech that's built by the industry for the industry. It will continue to operate as such as we move forward.
So there you go. Again, Nadine Chakar from the DTC explaining that they continue to build. That production is ramping up. They're probably going to start in September. So guys, are you ready? Those brand new rails are going to be solidified, and we're going to see more adoption for cryptocurrencies like XRP. Of course, this is just one of the cryptocurrencies that we're going to see really gain adoption over the coming months and years. So where's your cost average at? Are you guys happy where you are? Do you guys want to follow what I'm doing this round? Follow me, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel for more information on that. The subscription is only a measly $5 a month, guys. You can afford it. I've also got the Working Money Channel merch store. If you guys are interested in purchasing the Working Money Channel merchandise that I have available, 15% off until the end of the summer. Check it out. Link is in the description of the video. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.